Sunday and happy finals week. Today we are going to be studying very hard, tackling 3 essays. Because I have 3, I want to start with the easiest one first, or the easiest one in my mind, to sort of build momentum so that I can have the motivation to do the other 3. And I'm already motivated by the deadline, but it's okay. I want to be internally motivated as well with my sense of accomplishment. So that's what we're going to do today, and I'm going to go through the steps of my morning routine during finals week. Feel free to follow along as well in your own life. Like maybe you can have this playing in the background, and we can go through this finals week together. So I'm going to go ahead and make my bed.
For me, studying is 100% about my environment. If my room is not fostering the conditions for learning, then there is a very low chance that I will be productive. In this video, I'm also going to share my favorite study tips that I've learned from experience and as a master's in education student at Harvard University. Growing up, I was always on the study side of Tumblr, so Studyblr community, and I watch YouTube channels like Study With Jess or Studyquill. I want this video to be a tribute to all of the study communities and channels that I watched growing up and add my contribution to this amazing community. One thing that I learned about my study habits is that I need to have the tabs open that have the information to the prompts and all of the assignments that I'm going to tackle that day in order for me to remember that it's there and really feel like I'm able to do it. Sometimes when things are not in sight for me, I just either intentionally forget about them because it brings me anxiety or stress, but that is not the way to go, I've learned. And in between studying, I also went to wash my clothes, and I think it's one thing that I did not really think about as much in college is how much of our day is consumed by the everyday things we need to do, like to cook, to eat, and to do our daily chores for our own self-sustenance. And I think that's really an essential part of the study day as well. And speaking of self-sustenance, this is one of my favorite breakfasts to make because it reminds me of home, and my mom used to always cook this and she still does. And all you need is like tomato, Maggi sauce or soy sauce, eggs, and nukmam or fish sauce. I actually forgot the fish sauce this time, and that's what makes it like really unique and special. But if you just season it with some soy sauce, then it'll be so good too. Oh, and black pepper too. Whenever I'm studying or working on some essays, I make sure that I want to cook something that's nutritious but isn't too hard for my body to digest. And eggs and tomatoes are a great combination for me. Right now I am eating breakfast and watching The Crown, and it's so good. I really like this show because it has the perfect amount of calmness but also drama that I like to see in a show. Right now I also like watching Abbott Elementary and what else? I always like Somebody Feed Phil, but The Crown is a great show to eat with, in my opinion. Has anybody else also eaten and watched The Crown at the same time? Then I did more chores. I took out the trash, and then I saw somebody left out some cool books. And then I took my clothes out of the dryer. Right now, I am listening to a podcast episode that is part of one of my assignments, and then I'm taking notes on that before I tackle my essay. I feel like there are so many ways to gather information nowadays, and one of my favorite ways is podcasts. And luckily, this class provides like different episodes of podcasts weekly, conducted by the professors and alumni from the class, and I really enjoy listening to these, and it's so cool that it's an assignment. Also, something that I'm thinking about now is when I'm a teacher, I really want to make sure to, or if I become a teacher, I would love to make sure that my students would have access to different elements so that they can learn if they like podcasts or videos, films, or drawing. So, yep, my study tip number 1 is to make learning work for you. I love engaging with tactile ways of learning, like things with my hands, using paper, pen, clay, building things. And so whatever you're doing and whatever you're studying, I would really encourage you to find ways to incorporate your favorite ways of learning. And I'm sure even if it's like something totally different, like maybe if you're more of an auditory learner, maybe you could make a podcast episode about something you learned. And that's actually something that I've been inspired by my friend at school, and she's awesome. I feel like if she's watching this video, she'll know exactly who she is. I love her, and she made podcast episodes based on what we were learning in our class. My second study tip is to make the environment a treat rather than rewarding yourself. And this is just a very personal study tip, something that I have felt that works for me based on my experience. So maybe if you study better, having something to motivate you, like a treat or something like that, then that's super awesome. For me, I learned that I need to make the environment an inviting and comfortable space and see studying as my treat. I like to have different snacks and water and make sure that my environment is making me really happy. And because studying is truly such a fun process, it's based on learning. And even though like I know it's really stressful when we have to study for a lot of things, but for a task like writing an essay, essays are an expression of your thoughts and ideas and articulated in a way that you might not be able to in class. And so I try to reframe my perspective that way, but of course I do get very stressed out, as I still am a little bit now, but I keep having to remind myself that this is an opportunity to show to myself, of course the teacher, but especially to myself, my learning and my understanding of the material. My third study tip is to stay moving and hydrated. And I like to make sure that I get up from my seat every so often and move around or stretch, or even like do a small 5-minute workout in between. And this just helps me to remind myself like mind and body are connected. So if you're feeling a little bit tired and static in your body, maybe it would be really nice to move around and get that energy flowing again. So that you could also help your mind do the work that it's doing as you're studying and writing essays. And also, staying hydrated is very important. My dear friend Tiana always reminds me to stay hydrated, and I do not do it enough. But hydration is really important to boost your energy and your focus and just function as a human being. So please make sure you stay hydrated, and thank you, Tiana, for always reminding me.
Lazy Sunday mornings, hiding under covers. I don't mind staying in with you.
Once in a while, when I'm feeling a little bit uninspired, I like to pull up Pinterest and just look through the boards. And I wonder if this is because I'm a very visual thinker and learner, or if I don't know why, but this is a really great alternative for me than to get on social media as a break, because I don't know, something about Pinterest really inspires me and helps me feel like the creativity that I have within is all that I need to accomplish this task. For dinner, my partner sent me a KFC famous bowl, and I'm so happy because this is something that I used to eat after school or for lunch. And I remember like my dad would bring me a famous bowl and we would sometimes eat lunch together. Yeah, famous bowls are one of my favorite things ever. Thank you so much for joining me on my big study day today, and I hope that you get something really good to eat or something nice to drink, and good luck on all of your finals or essays or exams that you might have coming up. Wishing you all the best, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye!